From one of the more hitter-friendly yards in the big leagues, a look at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Tonight, the opener of a 3-game series between the Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. It'll be fun watching these two go at it. It's next on the show. Brendan Finnegan, a Texas-born left-hander, gets the starting nod. Harold, what do you got?
Well, Matt, the last outing wasn't pretty. He only pitched 2 innings. He didn't have good stuff. He didn't have command. All the things that you would think went wrong for that type of a start, it did. So this is a bounce back. Can he execute? Can he throw strikes? And can he get deeper in the game?
And now here's the versatile outfielder, Albert Almora Jr. And we are set for baseball here this evening. And he gets a piece here as this ball is fouled away. And Harold, as we take a look at the Reds entering play here tonight, it was another loss last time out, and this portion of the schedule has not done them any favors as they've dropped 5 of their last 7.
Matt, there's some tough losses in the course of the season, right? We've all witnessed that. But man, to lose a 1-run game when you're losing a lot recently, that just rips the heart out of you. They got to figure out a way to just get it back up and come back and go play another game.
2 quick strikes, and now the 0-2. And he looks at a ball, 1-2.
Matt, I know he's been struggling. Look at his ERA. Hey, but he's had great bullpen sessions. What he's got to do is really attack hitters early in this game to get that ERA down.
Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. Check swing, no swing, says the home plate umpire. Ball 2.
What, hold up on a 2-strike changeup right there? That's a nice piece of hitting. You know you're looking for a fastball, 2 strikes and adjust. But the changeup to hold up on, nice job.
Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. And that one never threatened the zone. It's gone full now to 3-2.
Boy, not what you want coming out of the gate as a pitcher, right? You don't want to have to show all of your pitches this early on in the game, but that's a quality at bat. And what does it make you do as a pitcher? You have to use a lot of your pitches, and the more pitches a hitter sees, the better chance they have to make good contact.
And that's a base hit, so the pressure's on to open up the inning.
Well, that's a great first at bat of the game, and I know it's not just because of the single, but he got it on 3-2. You get a chance to see all his pitches, make him work, get deep in the count, and get a base hit. Man, your teammates are loving you right now.
Here's Ben Zobrist now. Batter-pitcher matchup numbers against Brandon Finnegan. Not great. He's 1 for 8. He also has 1 home run. Here comes the first pitch. Wouldn't bite on a good sinker that time that missed. Time to check our umpires in this one. Behind the plate is Freddie Ferguson.
Well, Ferg really does call a solid game back there. He does reward a pitcher for good location at times, but his reviews tend to be very good most of the time.
He's ready. Here's the 1-0. Slapped hard the opposite way. Dives, and he hangs on for the out. Wow! And he will scurry back to first as he'll think twice about trying to move up.
Third baseman, Chris Bryant.
Here's Chris Bryant now. First chance for him here with a runner at first and 1 gone. First pitch coming. Here it is. Left field and deep. Duvall looking up. Gone! It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left. 4th home run here in the early going as the Cubs are out in front now 2-0.
I can tell you one thing. You might get away with throwing a ball in that location in the minor leagues, But when you get one up like that in the zone right over the plate against these guys, you're going to get exactly what he got, a really bad result.
Into the box, Anthony Rizzo. Coming into this one, his season home run total tops in the National League.
Anthony Rizzo.
And this one's nowhere close as that bounces to the plate for ball one. Here's the pitch. Not surprisingly here, this is on the ground to the right side. Throw on to first, 2 gone. With that, a look at the Cubbies' starting lineup. What's the key for them to win this series opener, Harold?
Well, I think the key here is get runners on early and score as often as you can. Get that pitcher into stretch. Force the action. Steal a base, hit and run. Force the defense to have to handle the ball. I don't care how good a defensive team you are, but when you continue having pressure on you, it just forces you to have to act and react to it.
Here it comes. Wilson Contreras is in with 2 away now as he looks at a called strike 1. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. And he'll try to hold back the swing, but he'll do so unsuccessfully as that's ruled a strike. Pitch on the way. And he gets a piece of this one to foul it toward the backstop. 2 out, nobody on. Throws him for strike 3, and that retires the side. 2 for the Cubs in the inning on the strength of this 2-run home run. Bottom of the first coming up. It's now 2-0 Chicago. Jake Arrieta will be on the mound for the series opener. HR, what's the word on him?
Well, last year he had a very nice season when you look at the win total. His team is counting on him to do that again. If he does not get within that range of where he was last season, I don't see this team going very far.
And here's Jose Peraza. It's been a really slow start to the season for him, as you can see by the April numbers on your screen. And this one's chopped foul right at home plate. Well, Harold, as we take a look at the Cubs coming into play here tonight, 4-2 over their last 6 games, including a win last time out.
Here we are at the bottom of the first, and they've been playing well, and it looks like that good baseball is going to continue. They already find themselves leading 2-0 at the bottom of the first inning. They're playing good right now.
Sharp slider that time, just missed inside. Takes a high fastball for a strike.
Now that's not fair. You're supposed to be throwing sinkers, and he throws a high fastball right there. That's why everybody's shaking their head.
And here's a ball lifted back toward the stands in right, so we'll try it again at 1-2.
Oh, he might have got away with one. 2-strike breaking ball that ended up being in the zone. I think he probably wanted that out of the zone, but fortunately, he just fouled it off.
Time now for a look at the hometown Reds starting lineup card in this one. Dan, who do we keep an eye on?
You always have to look out for a guy like Joey Votto. He hit over .320 last year, and that will get any pitcher's attention. They knew it when he was coming up, and they knew it when he was on the on-deck circle. Really impressive hitter.
Stepping up now, Scooter Gennett. The season batting average comes in down in the 240s. Into the windup and the pitch. Sinker runs outside to start the at-bat. 1-0. Ready with the 1-0 pitch. Right over the middle, knee high.
That was a beautiful pitch, Matt, particularly in this ballpark. The ball flies here in this park, so he's going to have to keep the ball down. If he doesn't, we're going to see a lot of balls in the air deep for homers.
From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. High fly ball out to straightaway center. On the run is Almora. He tracks it down and makes the play to record the second out.
Batting third, first baseman, Joey Votto.
In is Joey Votto now. His history with Jake Arrieta, just a 3 for 13 batting line. He's taken him deep once. Arrieta's got his target. First pitch on its way. Knee-high slider that he takes a look at. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Hit hard down the line, and he tries for the backhand reach at third, but he gets by the glove down the line. Throw into second, and he'll make it to second base now with 2 gone.
He just smoked this ball right down the line. Take a look here. Hard to tell if it was fair or foul in real time, but you can see it flies right over the bag. Ump was all over it and made a great call.
Into the box, Adam Duvall. As he'll take a look at a pitch too low. It's ball 1. The numbers offensively pretty dismal to this point, down in the 170s to start play. 3 homers and 6 RBIs. Two and 0.
Well, 2-0 now, and this is where he makes his money. If he gets a pitch to hack at, you can bet he's not going to hold back.
And that's in there, 2-1.
That was a good 2-0 slider right there. Now you're still sitting 2-1. I'd continue to look for that fastball, but that was a nice slider right there.
The set and the 2-1 pitch. Started that swing a bit too early. Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. Slider whiffed on for strike 3. A great pitch to put an end to the inning. Danger averted following the 2-out double. We're back from Cincinnati after this. Here's Jason Hayward now. It's been a rough go for him at the plate as he enters this one with a season average in the 230s. Into the windup and the pitch. On the ground up the middle. And the off-balance throw beats him at first, and that's a tough play.
And here's how the Reds line up defensively, brought to you by Majestic. And I'm looking down there at Joey Votto. You know, Joey will surprise you. He'll make an unbelievable play because he's a gambler. He's not afraid to challenge on a bunt, and he's not afraid to turn and spin and throw a ball to second base without even looking that direction.
Here's Addison Russell. He's looking to get things going at the plate. It has not been going his way of late. And a whiff at a good slider that time. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Swinging a ball hit on the ground.
Well, that's back-to-back breaking balls. He's able to foul that one off. Will they come back with a third?
1 out, nobody on. Swing and a liner, but foul. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he dusted him off the plate that time. Some mind games being played now. It's 1-2.
Well, now it's a 1-2 count. He's throwing the same pitch 3 times in a row. He got ahead with it. Now let's see if he puts him away with it.
And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact.
Having a hard time putting this hitter away here. And when I was looking at the tape on him from his last start, this is what I saw a lot of. He's not closing the door on guys. And when that's the case, they eventually get a pitch that they can do something with.
Therefore, it is Votto. 2 away now.
Second baseman, Javier Baez.
Here's Javier Baez. He'll work on keeping this top of the second alive. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And that misses inside. 1-0. Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. And there's a sinker that he just spits on as it misses low. From the windup, the 2-0 pitch. Nope. 3-0.
Well, he knows it, but this is the kind of guy you just have to go right after. He's not the biggest threat with the bat, so it's time to challenge him right here.
Now here's the pitch. And this is taken low for ball 4, and they'll have themselves a 2-out base runner here after all.
That's a nice job to work that walk right there. Even if it doesn't lead to anything on the scoreboard this inning, it prevents the pitcher from having to lead off in the next one. Just one of those small things that might go unnoticed, but in the end, make a big difference.
At the plate, Jake Arrieta. He, of course, no slouch at the plate, as he, in fact, took home the Silver Slugger Award for National League pitchers a season ago. He's set. Here it comes. Hit to third. And as it turns out, the 2-out walk doesn't come around to haunt him, as that ends the inning. 1 left for the Cubs, but they're on top 2-0. Here's the shortstop, Zach Cozart. His history with Jake Arrieta. 4 hits in 18 at-bats. First offering on its way. Takes a look down at the knees for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Had him guessing that time, as he's barely able to foul it away. And a good bite to that slider as he swings through it for the first out of the inning.
All right, time for the majestic defensive alignment for the Cubs. At down at third base, Chris Bryant, you talk about a tall drink of water. He knocks down everything. He's got the arm strength to play deep. He's got the good hands to catch the ball. But I think it's amazing to be that tall and force him to have to hit the ball over you.
And that brings up Scott Schebler. He comes into this April contest as one of the hottest hitters in the league. His season average up into the high 300s now. Here's the first pitch to him. Tough slider down low for a strike. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Sinker, and this one's over as well. 0-2 now.
Well, he finds himself down 0-2, but you know what? He looked at the first 2 pitches, but they were different pitches, both down. Good pitchers' pitches. Sometimes you got to tip your cap.
A little bit off the outside. It's 1-2. Ready to deliver the 1-2. Here's a high pop-up. Rizzo is there for it. And he brings it in for the second out of the inning.
Batting 7th, third baseman, Eugenio Suarez.
So striding in, Eugenio Suarez. His average coming into this one is just barely over 200. So he'll be looking to turn the page on a slow start here. A knee-high sinker, tough pitch, strike 1. A little bouncer. That's a foul ball. Arrieta into the windup. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and lifted in the air to left center.
Waiting on it is Almora.
And that's the third out. Reds are down in order. They trail it here 2-0. Digging in to try it again, Albert Almora. He'll stand in to open things up here in the third.
Almora.
Into the windup and the pitch.
Nope.
Didn't get on top of the sinker at all. If that's what it was trying to be, it stayed high. The windup and the 1-0 pitch. Smoked on the ground up the middle. Cozart has it. Throw to first in time, and the leadoff man is gone to start the third.
Now batting.
Still early in the season, of course, but we'll give you a look nonetheless at our standings to this point in April. Ready for another chance? Ben Zobrist. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. Hit weakly back to the mound. In time to first, and there are 2 away.
Up next for the Cubs, third baseman, Chris Bryant.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Chris Bryant. He hit a 2-run jack in his first at-bat. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. And he takes a pitch that's ruled a strike at the knees. Pretty liberal strike zone there. It's 0-1. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Two out, nobody on. And here's a pitch swung on and missed. 1-2 now.
Now that's a good changeup right there. You know the guy's sitting fastball. You get him out in front. Now that changeup's in his head.
1-2. Here it comes. And this is going to find the crowd down the left field line. Count holds at 1-2. He'll try again. 1-2. Just a bit low. Tough call, but it's 2-2.
And you know what? Give this guy some credit up there, because this had the look of being a very quick inning. He's been able to stretch this at bat out a little bit, and that's something that shouldn't go unnoticed.
And an off-speed pitch swung on and missed, and with that the side is retired. Cubs are down in order as they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead. Now at the plate, Tucker Barnhart. He went hitless last night in a game where his guys could push across only one score. He's ready. Here's the first offering. And that sinker misses at the shoe tops. Ball 1. Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. And that one stayed too low, apparently.
It's never advantageous to fall behind 2-0 as a pitcher, but if you're going to do it, it's far better to do it with a guy down in the bottom of the order. Time for a challenge fastball right here, though.
Outside, 3-0 now.
This is not the guy you want to walk right here. Look, the 8-hitter, this could set up a big inning if he gets on.
From the windup, the 3-0 pitch. Looks at a sinker on the outside corner. Set to deal. Here's the 3-1. And this is down at the knees, but called a strike. Wow, it's 3-2 now. Now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and they'll come all the way back from 3-0 to punch him out. One away.
It looked like this at bat had the makings of a leadoff walk when it started 3-0. So that's a good job not to give in and battle back to earn the strikeout. That's not always easy to do.
Into the box now, Brendan Finnegan.
As he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory.
Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Swung on in the dirt for the third strike. Up with it, Contreras. And the throw is in time. Finnegan is retired.
Now
2 down now.
Center fielder.
Striding in once again, Jose Peraza. First 2 men in the inning have both gone down via the punch out, so we'll see if he can fare any better. Fastball in there for a called strike. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And now a pitch hit sharply on the ground. But this will be a foul ball as he's behind 0-2 now. Down the third baseline. But a foul ball, and the count holds at 0-2.
Well, when you're hitting with 2 strikes, you're just in battle mode. Right there, he gets a breaking ball. He just fouled it off. Got a piece of it and stays alive.
A shot down the first baseline. And a backhanded reach at first, but he can't flag it down. And now he'll get into scoring position with 2 away.
Back-to-back sliders. He fouled off the first one, and the pitcher probably thought, you know what, I'll throw a better one this time, and he just didn't execute it the way he was thinking he might.
Here's the second baseman, Scooter Gennett. 0 for 1 here in the early going. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Now a swing and a hard hit grounder. Two out here and a runner at second. And he goes and chops this one out towards second. Baez fields it cleanly, and nothing will come of the 2-out double as the inning is over. Reds leave 1. They trail things here 2-0. Back here with Harold Reynolds and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, as the left-handed hitting power threat Anthony Rizzo starts out the inning.
Rizzo.
And he just gets a piece there as this is chopped foul. He's ready. Here's the 0-1. Just got a piece of it as it's fouled back. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Can't get him to chase. It's 1-2.
I have no issue wasting a pitch on 0-2 to try to get a guy to go fishing, but it has to be somewhat tempting. You're not going to get anyone to swing at a bat at that pitch.
Line toward the alley in left center. He dives. Did he catch that? He did. What a play there for the first out.
Good contact to start out the inning. Thought he might be on base with some sort of a hit, but it hung up there too long. Just unlucky that time.
Here's the young catcher, Wilson Contreras, as he'll cut on and miss it. A good slider at the knees for strike 1. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. The windup and the 0-1. And look out as that one ran in and got him.
Well, I'm not sure if he was looking past this guy to the slugger coming up or just lost focus. But now the big bat steps to the plate with a great RBI opportunity.
In now, Jason Hayward. Dribbled to the right side, but it's foul, strike one. And here's a slider that runs inside that time, and that'll keep him from diving out over the plate.
Well, he came right back in there after he hit the previous batter. I like that. If you're going to work inside, you're going to hit a few guys, but you can't let that change your game plan.
Maybe too much break on the slider. 2-1. He's set, and the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a nice biting slider.
That's the third slider in a row, and I'm going to tell you what, I think he'll probably throw 4 and maybe 5 if he needs it.
He's set. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a soft liner. Cozart for 1. Back to Votto, but it's not in time as they settle for just the 1.
Now batting, shortstop, Addison Russell.
Here's Addison Russell. He's 0 for 1 thus far. First pitch of the at-bat. Pitch swung on and missed the throw. And he'll be tagged out at second base. Trying to get into scoring position, but instead the inning is over. Cubs are down quietly, but they hold a 2-0 lead. Trying to pick things up where we left off. Joey Votto. He'll lead it off against Jake Arrieta.
Joey Votto.
Into the windup and the pitch. Here's a sinker to start him out, but he wouldn't bite. It's ball 1. Here it comes, 1-0. That misses. 2-0.
Well, not a great spot to be in right now. 2-0 to a great hitter like this. This is when you really have to pay attention as a pitcher. And if you have good off-speed stuff, this might be the time to start mixing in your off-speed stuff.
Into the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And this one's going to bounce up to the plate. An easy take there, and it's 3-1 now.
Well, he's been throwing the ball pretty well so far, but right here, 3 balls to the leadoff guy to maybe get them a chance to get them going. He's just got to come back, make him swing the bat. I'd rather see him earn his way on the base by swinging the bat instead of a walk.
And that misses for ball 4. It's a leadoff walk that starts the bottom of the 4th.
Well, he loses him there, but that's just the first walk he's given up, along with a couple of hits, so his command has been pretty solid so far.
Stepping up to the plate, Adam Duvall. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. First offering on its way. Here's a slider to start things out, looked at for ball 1.
Seems like he's just lost the strike zone these last several pitches. He's got a walk, and that pitch right there, that wasn't even close.
Ready with the 1-0 pitch. Now a swing and a miss, and I don't think he was expecting a pitch inside. It's 1-1.
Two things pitchers really love: called strike threes and jamming hitters. How about that? Talk about that jam right there. That's about as good as it gets.
Fouled straight back. And a good sinker there gets him swinging for the first out.
Made pretty quick work of him right there, setting him down on only 4 pitches. And what I liked about all of those pitches, what they were down around the knees or lower. Pretty hard to do any kind of damage when pitches are located in that spot.
Here's the shortstop, Zach Cozart. Fought off at the plate as it's chopped foul. Has a look, now the pitch. Check swing, but he held up in time. Ball 1.
Well, you're in trouble at the plate if you fall behind this guy 0-2, so that was a good job to hold up right there.
No runs, 2 hits, and no errors in the game for Cincinnati thus far. Chopped weakly to the left.
And indeed, he won't look at second. He'll just flip it on over to first to take the sure out.
Now batting, right fielder, Scott Schebler.
Digging in for his second at-bat, Scott Schebler. He popped out in his first trip. Hit hard on the ground to first. And a reach, but it's by him as he couldn't quite get to that ball. And the runner at third will put the brakes on here as they didn't want to chance it even with 2 outs.
Well, he rolled over that one. Not the most impressive single, but it's a line drive in the books.
Standing in now, Eugenio Suarez. High in the air out to center field. Almora is under it, and the inning is over. Reds strand a couple. They're down 2-0. At the plate, Addison Russell. He'll look to light a spark under this lineup that hasn't found the scoreboard since back in the first inning.
Yeah, and for me, the story has been the starting pitching they faced. It's been very difficult to rebound and, quite frankly, dominate after getting roughed up a bit in the first inning of a start. So I'll give him a lot of credit for what he's been able to do.
Halfway to 100 pitches. Here it is. And the first pitch of the inning here misses down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Pitch on the way. There's a belt high strike to even the count at 1-1.
That was a pretty good pitch on a pitch he doesn't throw very often, or I should say hasn't used in this game, that's for sure. That was a good pitch.
Line drive caught at first by Votto. Right place, right time, and the leadoff man's gone to start the fifth.
Javier Baez.
Here's Javier Baez. Reached base via the walk in his first plate appearance. Into the windup and the pitch. This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Duvall has a read on it, and he makes the catch for the second out.
The pitcher, number 49, Jake Arrieta.
So stepping in, Jake Arrieta comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch of the at bat. And the slider stayed low apparently for a ball.
I really like how he's getting ahead early in the count. He's pitching aggressively, and what that does, it holds the pitch count down.
Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. Laid off as it caught the inside corner. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors so far for the Cubbies. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. Grounded down the third baseline, but this will wind up a foul ball. 2-2. He's ready with the 2-2 pitch. And another foul ball. Another try at 2-2. Now a bouncing ball for the shortstop, Cozart. Scooped up. Throw on to Votto will take care of him at first, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs. They're up 2-0. Digging in now, Tucker Barnhart. He leads off in the bottom of the fifth as they
Leading
look to
off for the
break
Reds,
through on the scoreboard for the first time in this one.
Yeah, baseball is a game of adjustments, and it's time they start making some. They don't need to change their entire approach necessarily, but now is maybe when they start thinking about ways to get the guy on the mound out of his rhythm a bit.
Good swing, just got to try and straighten that one out. And no swing, apparently. Ball one. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a slider's in the dirt as he lays off it for a ball. Set to deliver on 2-1. And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact. Into his motion. Here comes the 3-1. A sinker over the outside corner for strike two.
Well, they're still in this game. You know, if they can get somebody on, a broken bat, a blooper, a bunt, and then go for the big ball, they can get something going. But they've got to start with getting somebody on base. This offense needs a base runner and get things happening.
Tries to go the other way as this is in the air to left field. There to take it is Zobrist, and that's out number one.
Now batting, the pitcher, Brandon Finnegan.
Ready now, Brandon Finnegan. He's 0 for 1 thus far. First delivery to him on the way. Sinker runs outside to start the at-bat. 1-0. One out, nobody on. Now a good pitch on the inside part of the plate ties him up, and it's 1-1. Really tied him up on that one.
Yeah, clearly didn't recognize where that was going to end up, Matt. If I were pitching, I might go right back in there.
1-1 pitch and a good sinker there, but he can't find the zone. 2-1.
I think if he executes that pitch on the corner instead of off of it, he probably gets some pretty weak contact, if anything. He jammed him pretty hard on the previous pitch, so my bet was he was going to try to cheat on the inside part, thinking it might be coming again.
Ground ball sent back up the middle. Throw in time at first for out number 2.
Center fielder number 9, Jose Peraza.
Digging in and looking for more, Jose Peraza. 1 for 2 with a double on the ledger so far. Starts him out with a slider for a strike.
Well, he's done a great job on the hill throughout this game, and it's something to be proud of anytime you can pitch a good game in this ballpark, especially when it's not your home ballpark.
Swing and a miss, and he's in control. 0-2.
2 outs, 2 strikes, and we're in the 5th inning, and he's got 1 pitch, I think, away from getting through 5 shutout innings. It's pretty impressive right now.
A windup and the 0-2 pitch. And he struck him out, his 7th of the ball game, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the Reds. They're still down. It's 2-0. Striding in once again, Albert Almora. He's singled in 2 trips to the plate thus far.
Albert Almora.
Here comes the first pitch. Chop foul over towards the coaching box. Back up the middle. And that finds its way through for a base hit. With that, the Cubs get their leadoff man aboard.
A lot of base hits up the middle. Set your sights up the alleys and try to take it back up the middle hard like he did right here. Nice job.
Here's Ben Zobrist now. 0 for 2 on his line thus far. Here comes the first pitch. And a ball, 1-0. Well, it's been a good outing so far, but he hasn't really racked up the strikeout totals that you might think, Dan.
Yeah, it amazes me how every game you pitch can be so different, Matt. Sometimes it feels like guys can't touch you and you're just punching everyone out. But other times you don't have your good stuff and you really rely on movement and location to get outs. That's been the case for him today, and it's really working.
And that finds some outfield grass. It's a base hit.
Well, that base hit right there extends the streak to 10 games. When you start getting hits over 10 games, you've been pretty consistent over the last 2 series you've been playing. Really good ball right now.
Here comes Brian Price now out of the Reds dugout on his way to the mound. And he's going to motion for his bullpen here. That'll do it for the starter tonight. He'll wind up lasting just 5 innings here. Didn't pitch all that poorly, yet he's gone nonetheless. Blake Wood takes over on the mound here with nobody out in the 6th inning.
Number 36, Blake Wood.
Chris Bryant will stand in here, but before he does, let's take you back to the very first inning. This was a 2-run home run right out of the gate that really got these guys off to a fast start. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. And this one's in the dirt. And the runners will stay put here on ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. There's a knee-high pitch that catches the zone. Here's the 1-1 delivery. And he takes ball 2, and it's 2-1.
Boy, he better get it back together here quick because he's got 2 guys on already. He's starting to lose location of that strike zone. He's got to throw a strike right here.
Here's the 2-1. And, ooh, he's really given some leeway on the outside edge here. 2-2 now. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. Fastball, and ooh, that ran in and drilled him.
As a manager, you never really want to put a man on by a hit by pitch, but you absolutely hate to have it happen when it loads the bases. Now the pitcher is looking a little shaky, and the threat of a big inning is very real.
Anthony Rizzo stands in now. He's got an opportunity here in a bases loaded situation and seems like the right man for the job.
I'd say so. He's the team leader in RBIs. Time for the right man in the right spot.
Looks like the Reds are going to have some stirring in the bullpen as a lefty's begun to heat up down there. Lifted the other way out to left center. Peraza on the move. But he's not going to get this one. It's into the gap. 1 run scores. Zobrist rounds the corner and is headed home. And they're not going to get him. He's in there at the plate.
Yeah, with the bases loaded, he didn't walk a run in. So instead, he makes the cardinal mistake of putting it right in the heart of the plate. And when you do that, you're going to pay the price. And that's exactly what happens with a 2 RBI double.
Here's the young catcher, Wilson Contreras, as the changeup to him drops in there for the first strike. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. And now a right-hander's begun to loosen up in the Cincinnati bullpen. comes set, and the 0-1. Now a fastball as he has to lean out of the way there.
Hey, that's a classic piece of pitching right there. You have to back hitters away from the plate to make them a little bit uncomfortable. Now you can go inside or outside. I like that purpose pitch.
Ready with the 1-1 pitch. 2-1.
A lot of times you see guys get too aggressive and try to do too much at the plate with guys on, but right here he's doing a great job of waiting on the right pitch. Got himself ahead in the count now.
2 balls and a strike. Here it comes. And here's a ball hit in the air. Jeanette ranging into shallow right, makes the play, 1 away.
Great scoring opportunity missed right there. You talk about frustration, popping it up with 2 runners in scoring position. He'd like to get that one back.
Here's Jason Hayward now. We'll see if he can deliver here. Runners still at second and third with 1 away now. And there's ball 4 now, so the bases are loaded here on the intentional walk, and the force at the plate is in order.
Up next for the Cubs, shortstop, Addison Russell.
Ready once again, Addison Russell. He started out the evening 0 for 2 so far. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Takes a knee-high fastball.
Getting that first pitch strike is really important when you're dealing with the bases loaded behind you. Good job to give himself the advantage there.
From the belt, the pitch. In the dirt and blocked behind the plate. Good job to corral this quickly as the runners hold on. 1-1. Here it comes. On the ground to second base. This could be 2. Those aren't for 1. Relay to first in time, and just like that, the side is retired. 4 to 6 to 3. They roll it up to get out of the jam. We're back to Friday Night Baseball on the show after this. Here's the second baseman, Scooter Gennett. And through 5 turns at bat, they've only mustered a total of 3 hits. Not terrible, but they're certainly not firing on all cylinders.
Well, it's getting a little bit too late in this game, but this continues like this. In today's game, with so many dominant bullpen arms, you certainly don't want to wait until the 8th or 9th to try to wake the bats up.
First pitch on its way. Hit hard on the ground to short. And that's through for a hit. So the leadoff man's aboard in their half of the 6th inning.
Well, that first pitch single right there is something we haven't seen much this game. Maybe they'll be more aggressive now, jumping first pitch instead of finding themselves in the hole. A lot of the at-bats we've seen in this game so far.
In is Joey Votto now. It was a walk in his last trip. Watches a fastball right there for strike 1.
That's the advantage of having a good 2-hitter hitting second in your lineup. He knows he's going to get something to hit because they're going to pitch to him. And now here comes the heart of the order. They've got a great opportunity to get on the board here.
Called strike over the outside part of the plate.
One thing you try to do as a hitter is figure out what pattern the pitcher is pitching. I can't cover the whole plate. He's done a masterful job of pounding him on the outside half for strikes, and they haven't figured it out yet.
Here's the 0-2. Got him. And that's 8 strikeouts now for him in the ball game.
The left fielder, number 23, Adam Duvall.
Ready for another shot now, Adam Duvall. He's hoping to avoid the hat trick. He struck out in each of his first 2 plate appearances so far. First pitch on its way. Takes a look at a slider that catches the inside corner.
You know, when a guy starts to get tired, you often see their breaking stuff start to flatten out, but that's not the case here. Still has really nice finish on that slider, as we just saw.
Awfully close with the slider there, but it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 delivery. And there's ball 2 now.
We've seen him go down on strikes more than once in this game, so this has been a better approach by him at this at-bat. Much more patient, and he's gotten himself into a good hitter's count.
He's set, and the 2-1 pitch. And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact.
Well, this has been a good job to work the count from 0-1 to 3-1, and now he's really in the driver's seat to see a heater that he can do something with.
Hit back up the middle. And that gets through for a 1-out base hit. Now a long throw to third, and he is in there.
Well, he persevered right through it. Now he's 0 for 2 before this base hit right here with 2 strikeouts. Man, this makes him feel good now. Now he's getting that confidence and a little swagger back.
Cubs have someone working in their bullpen now as a right-hander's begun to get loose. Into the box, Zach Cozart. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. 0 for 2 for him to this point. One-0 count. Here it is. That one's going to find the seats. Strike 1. He's set. Here comes the 1-1. And here's a sinker that causes him to back away as that just about got him.
Even though he has a shutout going right now, this is a really tight game, and I don't think they're going to think twice about getting him out of there if he starts to lose his command. Let's see if he can start reeling it in a bit again.
Gets the sign. Here comes the 2-1. Boy, good bite on the slider, and it just missed inside.
Hey, that's a good job right there. You very rarely see pitchers double up where they go a pitch inside. Normally, they'll go back outside, but he followed that up with another pitch on the inside part of the plate.
3-1. Here it is. Now a swing on 3-1, but this is chopped foul right around home plate, and the count will go full to 3-2. Trying to send him packing for the second time. And look out. That's in very tight, and it's ball 4.
He's going to be pretty upset with himself about that 3-2 pitch. All you want to do in that count is make a competitive pitch, but that one wasn't even sniffing the zone, and he let him get away.
Digging in and looking for more, Scott Schebler. 1 for 2 on his line so far in the game. First pitch coming. Here it is. A dangerous changeup left high, but called for a strike.
That changeup came in at 89 miles an hour. You know a guy throws hard when his off speed is in the high 80s.
0-1 count. Here it comes. This one's down to third. Bryant's got it. The second for 1. The relay on to first. The double play, and the side is retired. Boy, oh boy. Just what the doctor ordered. He gets the double play to get him out of the inning. On to the back third tonight. Stick around on the show. Back here at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Getting set for the 7th now with the Cubs out in front. And before the inning gets underway, let's get a look at our game summary to this point. Scott Feldman will come on out of the bullpen as he'll be appearing in his third game this season.
Scott Feldman.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Javier Baez comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. Skied into straightaway right. Schebler is in his tracks now. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Up next for the Cubs, pitcher Jake Arrieta.
In now, Jake Arrieta. It's been an 0 for 2 effort for him to this point. Kyle Schwarber will grab a bat and hit for the pitcher 12. Here.
Kyle Schwarber.
Here's a high foul ball as it finds a lucky fan in the upper deck for a souvenir. Here's the pitch. Sent on the ground out to second, and that'll find its way into center field for a one-out hit. So a base hit from the pinch hitter will send them back to the top of the order with one away in the inning.
Center fielder number 5.
Digging in once again, Albert Almora. He's looking for hit number 3 here in this at-bat. Hit down the third baseline. Played on the backhand. The throw pulls him off the bag.
Well, that's one of those unusual plays right there. Great hustle by the runner going to second base. He just picked up the teammate a base hit. They couldn't get the throw to second base in time. Therefore, he gets a hit.
Here's Ben Zobrist now. He scored after reaching on a single in his last time up. Here comes the first pitch. Well struck down the right field line. But this will land foul as he didn't miss by much. Oh, and you talk about a pitcher getting the benefit of the doubt. That's low, but called a strike anyway. 0-2 now. Runners are at first and second with one away. That's inside and low. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Boy, that's a great breaking ball right there. That's a tough pitch to lay off when that ball is coming in at that plane right there. Quality take.
A ball and 2 strikes. Here it is. 1-2 is an off-speed pitch. No dice. It's 2-2.
The intent with that changeup away was one thing and one thing only. Get a double play ball. Nice job to lay off it at the plate, though.
Here's the pitch on 2-2. And that's swung on and fouled straight back. First and second now, 1 man out. Now a check swing, and he went around, says the home plate umpire. No appeal needed, and there are 2 away.
Now batting, third baseman, Chris.
Coming to the plate now, Chris Bryant. 2 outs and 2 runners aboard here in the 7th inning. Chop foul at the plate, strike 1. The 0-1 on its way. And a curveball that started low and broke lower, ball 1. Ready to deal. Here's the 1-1. A little bit outside. 2-1. He's set, and the 2-1 pitch. Little dribbler down the line. That winds up foul. 2 down, runners at first and second. Now a bouncing ball for the shortstop, Cozart. And the 2-out threat will not come to pass as the inning is over.
Cubs strand a couple, but they're in front 4-0. Carl Edwards Jr. gets the call from the pen to take over on the mound and start the home seventh.
Carl Edwards Jr.
Ready for another chance. Eugenio Suarez. They'll try and get something started in the home half of the seventh. And he swings through a fastball and doesn't catch up with it. It's 0-1.
Now that's a nice pitch. He ran that in there about mid-90s and put it past him.
And this catches the inside corner. Good spot there. It's 0-2. And this will be fouled away.
I like the pitch right there. Two-strike fastball out of the zone. See if he'll chase. I'd go even further out this time. See if he chases it again.
Pops this one up just beyond the infield on the right side. Therefore it is Baez, and he's got it for the first out.
Now
that's exactly what they wanted out of that pitch up in the zone.
Barnhart.
They took him up the ladder and he couldn't get up to it, so that was an easy pop out. Well executed pitch there.
Into the box now, Tucker Barnhart. As with one away, he can't make contact on the first pitch. It's strike one. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And this is fouled at the plate.
He's clearly looking to hit off the fastball and adjust. That's a pretty good swing after seeing 2 fastballs now in a row.
Swing and a ball hit softly on the ground. Throw just does beat him to the bag, as that was pretty close.
The pitcher, number 37.
Arismendi Alcantara will get the call here as he'll hit for the pitcher.
Number 30, Arismendi Alcantara.
Swing and a miss, 0-1. He's ready for his first at-bat of this early season contest. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Swing, line drive. That's going to be trouble. Around first, he's digging for second. And he is into second with a 2-out double.
As a hitter, the only feeling better than hitting a bomb is driving one into the gap like that. He hustled out of the box knowing he was guaranteed a double, but I think he had thoughts of maybe a triple if the outfielder hadn't gotten it back in right away.
Yeah, there really wasn't any question about that one, going for extra bases off the bat. And here's Jose Peraza. And Dan, this could be a real make or break situation at this point in the game.
Yeah, Matt, at least scoring 1 run in this inning is so important to them to possibly get back into this thing. Baseball doesn't have a clock, but you only have 27 outs to work with. They're running out of those pretty quick.
Now a swing, and he just fouls this one away. 0-1, here it comes. In front of the changeup, and he can't keep it fair. 2 strikes on him now. Can't quite get the low outside corner there. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 delivery. And here's a ball lifted back toward the stands in right, so we'll try it again at 1-2.
Well, I think he's trying to get that 2-strike fastball out of the zone. Just caught too much of the plate right there. Fortunately, he fouled it off instead of putting it in the seats.
He's ready with the 2-2 pitch. And he struck out again. That's the 3rd time he's gone down on strikes in this one. 1 left for Cincinnati. They trail here 4-0. Wandy Peralta will come on in relief as he'll make his 2nd appearance of the season so far.
Wandy Peralta.
Anthony Rizzo stands in now. He'll have a new pitcher waiting for him as we begin their half of the 8th.
Number 44, Anthony Rizzo.
There's a swing, and he sends a ball high in the air into left field. Duvall racing back, gone to lead off the inning. A solo home run here for Anthony Rizzo. Number 10 for him on the year. And the Cubs have now opened this up to a 5-0 lead.
Wow, that's a tough one. Certainly not the way you want to start your day as a relief pitcher, giving up a home run.
The catcher, number 40, Wilson Contreras.
Here's the young catcher, Wilson Contreras, as he'll take a look at ball one. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. To short. Scooped up on the backhand. And a great athletic play to get him. Man, wow.
Now batting, right fielder, Jason Hayward.
Here's Jason Hayward now. 1 run in and 1 gone so far this inning. Grounded back up the middle. Throw gets him, 2 down.
Now batting.
Hey, not a lot you can do with that pitch. That fastball just ate him up inside and gets the soft grounder for the out.
Digging in to try it again, Addison Russell. He was a double play victim last time around. First pitch of the at-bat. A swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. Peraza going back to the track. He makes the catch. What a play on the run to end the inning. The Cubs get a run courtesy of Anthony Rizzo. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's the Cubs 5 and the Reds nothing. Ready now, Scooter Gennett. He'll see what he can do leading off the home 8.
Second baseman, Scooter Gennett.
Mike Montgomery is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th.
38, Mike Montgomery.
There's a fastball missing down and away for a ball. 1-0. Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. Ball 2.
Well, this is the matchup they wanted, bringing in the reliever, but falling behind 2-0 doesn't exactly help the situation very much.
Ready with the 2-0 pitch. Takes a look down at the knees for a strike.
Great spot with that pitch down and away. He'll be fine coming out of the bullpen in this one if he can keep hitting that spot.
Now here's the pitch. And he gets him to wave at that one. It's 2-2.
Got him to chase after the curveball below the zone there. That was a really nice pitch, and it can be a really tough one to lay off of as a hitter.
Into the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at 1 in the dirt. And he makes the throw to first. Gennett is retired, and there's 1 away.
First baseman number 19.
Into the box, Joey Votto. 1 for 2 with a double on his line thus far. Into the windup and the pitch. And he tries to hold back on the swing, but I think it would have been ruled a strike anyway. It's 0-1. The pitch. Hard hit at third. And into left field for a one-out hit.
Well, that was a nice swing in that opposite field base hit. He's using the whole field. He's off to a great start. If he stays like this could be a monster year for him.
Stepping in now, Adam Duvall. Swing, high drive, left field and deep. And that nearly would have gotten him on the board. Instead, it's a long foul ball. The 0-1. Chop foul at the plate here, and it's 0-2. A pause, and the 0-2. Ground ball sent back up the middle to second for one. On to first, it's a double play. As their woes continue, the inning is over. Reds go down quietly. Need to get it going soon. It's 5-0. Here's Javier Baez. 0 for 2 with a walk for him so far.
Second baseman, Javier Baez.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Swing, and that's hit out of play up into the plaza level. Set to deliver the 0-1. And a pitch in the dirt as he lays off. It's 1-1. And now a pitch on the way. And a half-hearted attempt that time as he broke the plane of the plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. And now a pitch on the way. This is hit well out toward left field. Duvall ranging back. He's there and records the first down.
Now batting, pitcher Mike Montgomery.
Matt Caesar will move into the on-deck circle now to try to get something started here with one gone in the inning.
Caesar.
A swing and a high drive to right center field. Peraza looks up, out of here. A solo shot, and they add another. Solo shot to right center. First home run of the campaign for him. As they pile on, it's now 6-0.
Well, he didn't have to supply a whole lot of power with that one. He catches the fastball, and all he had to do is just really make a nice swing, which he did right there. And that ball just did not stop carrying.
Center fielder, number 5, Albert Almora.
And now here's the versatile outfielder, Albert Almora Jr. And he'll whip this one over to first, and he gets his man for the second out.
Now batting, left fielder, Ben Zobrist.
Digging in, Ben Zobrist. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up. Shot towards second. Well, this won't get over the second baseman's glove as he's got it to end the inning. Cubs tack on another courtesy of this solo home run. Last chance coming up here for the Reds. It's the Cubs 6 and the Reds nothing. Brian Dunsing comes on to start the inning, and he'll have a huge lead to work with.
Brian Dunsing.
Here's the shortstop, Zach Cozart. He's going to lead things off in their
Leading
half
off
of the
the
ninth
bottom of the
as
ninth
they
inning
try
for
to
the Reds.
avoid the dreaded shutout.
Shortstop.
It's never a good
Number
feeling to get
2.
shut out. And over the course of the season, it's bound to happen a few times. They've just been overmatched by good pitching.
And they go right after him on the inside corner for strike 1.
Objective number 1 right here is finding a way to get on base. So I'm not surprised to see him taking on the first pitch there.
Popped high in the air. Rizzo is there for it. Looks it into his glove, and there's one gone.
Now batting, right fielder, Scott Schebler.
And that brings up Scott Schebler. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. First pitch on its way. Knee-high slider that he takes a look at. Way out in front. So back-to-back sliders for strikes. Does he come back with yet another?
Normally not a good pitching plan to throw the same hitter the same pitch 3 times in a row. But both of those sliders back-to-back were so
Third
good,
baseman, number
I might
7.
just go ahead and try to throw another one.
Eugenio Suarez.
Stepping into the box, Eugenio Suarez. His prior history in this matchup, 0 for 4. He'll start him with a sinker here, but that sinks a bit too much that time. It's 1-0. He's ready. Here's the 1-0. A knee-high sinker. Tough pitch. Strike 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that one misses way inside. 2 out, nobody on. Swing, and he pops him up over toward foul territory. And he'll put this one away without much trouble, and the Cubs have taken game 1 of the series on the road as the ball game is over.
Yeah, that's what you want to do when you're playing on the road. Take it right to the home squad and get a win. Now the pressure is off. If they get one of the next 2, the series is theirs.
A 6-0 shutout to finish off tonight's game. Jake Arrieta earns the win, his second. So that'll put a wrap on things here this evening. For my partners Harold Reynolds and Dan Plesac, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a presentation of MLB The Show. For more, follow us on Twitter at MLB The Show.
Here now is the final line score tonight. First.